Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Apologies for not being on in the past couple of weeks. I have been away. I was at an event to do with exoskeletons in Washington DC. This was ErgoX 2023, where I was with people like Bill from the Excellent Exo Chats through to the head of the HFES, who's Chris Reed. And it was all about exoskeletons, it was all about the human factor side. And yeah, been quite the adventure, really insightful, meeting people who are also interested in finding Hardiman and figuring out what happened to Hardiman. But yes, let's get right back to the mission at hand. So it's now official. There is a date. I have a date which is the 7th of December, where we will be unveiling the build of what we're actually been working on here. And this is for an event that I'm doing at UCLan. I'm actually doing this hybrid, so I'll be doing a public talk about exoskeletons and having some guest speakers who will be interfacing across the pond. It's all really exciting. So yeah, now this channel is just going to change a little bit, because we're going to now just have a bit of a report each week about where we're up to with development on the actual project, where it's actually going, and are we ready for the event. So starting from today, which is the 28th of the 10th, we're going to be counting down right through to the 7th of the 12th, which is when the event will occur. In that process, though, I'm not going to change any direction for what we're doing. It's all about Hardiman and building this side. But the event I'm doing is an event called Exoskeletons, the Past, the Present and the Future of. So as ever, let's shrink this right down and let's see where we are. As a reminder, in the last one, we noticed this section here was completely wrong. I'd done it wrong. The process for what is actually here is actually not right at all. So this section here proved to be a pain. A bit of a gut-wrenching moment. However, what we then did is I went back and I changed. So let's just change you. Let's just hide you out. I changed the original one to match the actual one that we've now proposed to be the correct one. And this was purely because if we have a quick reminder onto Moshe's image here, you can actually see that there is a 3-pinned plate here which binds into the back, which I believe to be for the actuator, for the hydraulic actuator. So without further ado, it's time to make a couple of changes, get this swapped out and put the right one in. So I'm just going to bring the hand back. And we're going to get rid of that. So this one, let's get you, and let's sadly hit delete. Watch the whole system go, well, what have you done? You've broken stuff. So let's put you there. Are you still in? Oh, you're still good. So let's get a joint. We've done this so many times now, I can move relatively quick. So joint you. Oh, hang on. So I'll joint you to you. Yes. Spin that round. There we go. And then apply. Oh yeah, let's just add that to the relationship. Okay. And same again, let's do a joint. Let's go you to you. However, I'm going to apply a gap here of 0.5 millimeters. Make sure that's right. It's going the wrong way. So minus 0.5. Perfect. So I'll go apply, add to relationship. It's just because there's been changes and the system's like, oh no, what are you doing to me? So it's like on this one here to this here, I've lost some of my, remember the actual restriction we had on it? I do actually have to build that back in, which is a pain in the backside. So anyone that's erroring now, really I've got to delete it and delete that as well. Delete you. Or else it's going to start just not play ball. So what I'm going to do is just get things into position, and let's do the same again. So I'm going to go joint, of you, and I'd like to place you onto here. Snap that into spot like that. Apply. Okay. And oh, the other one hidden. The other one is hidden. So I'll get to that in just a moment. So I'm going to say I want less joint and this area to be snapped. And then, as ever, it'll tell me, is that what you want? Of course it is. So I'll go 0.5 because I think 0.5 is what we chose. Probably about 0.75 looking at these, but whatever. So I'll click something like that. A couple of bits we need to fix. It's not a major issue, but there is stuff we need to fix. So let's bring that round, snap you around to there, and we're at something like that. So what we've now got is, if we have to take a dive down deep here, we've got the actual pinpoint. These pinpoints here, I am 99.9% sure there is a linkage here. If I was building this and I was in the 60s, I would probably try and have an interlinkage here, but just the way that this is put together tells me that they probably didn't, which I'm not criticizing, but I don't know, I'm not convinced with that. I'd have really done it so that it was an interlinkage, because do you really want to be able to independently control the tip? Just the tip? That's a joke, but never mind. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to it. I'm going to flip this back around to the Hardiman itself. Now you see now that really our initial design here has now died a death. Because this is how I'd originally designed it in. And that is how it actually has gone. Now, to just rest assured on your faith in me, so let me just come back, push this to here. Let's bring this back to Morsha. And you can see there, that's where that plate is sitting. To be realistic, it looks like there is a countersink sitting there, which I can add in anyway, so I'm not too fussed with that. Okay, so we're that little bit step closer now. Now, next thing we need to consider is just zoom it in. Look here, look to the lower end. That section there is cut out. One thing we know for sure is the whole thing, lower arm here, is hollow. If that to be the case, that means I'm going to open this up, flip you right round, and then let's take a look at this being hollow. So we've got chamfer. What's it, chamfered there? That's chamfered on the outside. I'm just going to suppress that because I don't think that's a feature that's needed. And we're going to thicken there. Suppress you as well. I don't think that's needed, but we'll leave it. That was from the counter things that we were doing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is presume that there's I'm going to go 3 millimeters. That is me guessing. They wouldn't have wanted this thing to weigh a ton. You know, we kind of sit there and go, why have we got 6 bodies? Okay, let's try this one more. There's a shelled section there, and okay, so see an arrow here. That makes me wonder, is that what's causing the problem? So if that's the case, what I'm going to do is quickly make some modifications, chop that out, because I am actually going to have to chop that out anyway, because I realised something on the construction that needs to be thought about. So I'm just going to exit this, sorry, dequantify. Okay, and here what I'm going to do is just sketch and sketch, and I'm going to actually remove this out completely. So this was just to give me a prospect of, is it right? And you know, I think it is right. But I think shelling something like this is a bit of a pain in the backside, which, you know, any systems like that, it's not a inventor thing, it's just any system. When you do something which is kind of crazy in the values, the system is not always happy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the same sketch to do it on both. Great tool this, I love this. So profile, I've got my profile set. Where am I taking it from? Here. And I'm going to flip my direction, turn it to a cut, and bang. So now what I've got is a shared sketch between 2 profiles. Great tool, love it. I think that is one of the first things that are causing problems, and probably that. So what I'll see if I can do is just an experiment, is I'm probably going to cut off this section here and see if that will shell, because I don't see why the rest of this wouldn't shell on a 3mm rad. I see an arrow there. I've got an arrow marker there. I wonder what that was from. Let's just come back. Let's go shell. We'll go solid U. Let's see if that gives me any joy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I think it's this back end. Oh, oh, hello. Okay, so let's just have a quick look. It appears that my suspicions could have been correct, which is often nice to be correct. Let's get a section in here. Pop you right out to there, and there we go. Perfect. So we've now got our shell section. It's all nicely into position. Now what we need to do, this was coming just because of that small interruption which was coming from the locator pin that I'd put in. So I'm going to delete that out. Right, I'm going to come in from my midsection here across and cut directly down. Wait a second, let's have a quick look. See there where the rivet comes in, and it's where over the chamfer sits, and that's what they've cut back. So I'm going to go mid direction here, and then it goes right up to the midpoint of where that anchor sits, so here. So I'm going to cut that right back. So here we go. Let's see if this works, because if this works, it's so exciting, isn't it? So let's go here, go right plane, and then let's do a quick sketch and a sketch. I'm going to bring in my corner rectangles, snap to you, and then over to you like that. Okay, and then like magic, we get the thing into position. Rather than you guys having to sit there watching me do millions and millions of sketches, I am just pausing a few things out to make life so much quicker. So let me quickly bring this back. Let's go to view. Let's go realistic for this case. We're actually not doing solid, so we're doing cutout, and this is going to go through all on both sides. If you look there, that's what we get. Now this is where we're going to have to do a bit of mod. I didn't think about this, but let's just take a look at that. Now if I take a look at that as a section, let's quickly bring Marsha back in. Got a section there, so if I bring you to more like there, yeah, we're capturing what that is, which is fab. Okay, I suspect this section here needs to be cut out a little bit more, but the problem is this lower section here, and I've only just thought about it now. So if I quickly come to here and go to edit sketch, snap over the top, and then let's just go to view so I can see what the hell's going on. You get down to here, and if you look at that section there today, that is 3mm. So in other words, my relation here is too short. So what I need to do is get on a sketch. I'll do a record geometry view, and I'll make sure that's turned to construction, or else I don't want to get mixed up in dimensions of the wrong kind, so to speak. So that is down as 1. That's actually not. It needs to be 3mm to capture that full cut through. So if I then confirm that, it should boom, take that section out completely. And now the only thing I'm really curious about here is if you look at that section, is it a true? I mean, for me that's very close. It actually shows how my rad is not enough on this section here, but that can be changed, and so I'm not too fussed with that one. Let's bring it back, go to realistic, and we're back there again, and you can see it's this rad. This rad's a little bit short, but as far as a piece goes, that's a good move forwards. So let's have a quick save on that. You sure you want to save? Yeah, I do. And then I'm going to quickly jump back to the slave hand piece. Okay, so really what I want to do now is bring in line definition, just because it gets a little bit tricky to see exactly what you're meant to be looking at. That's okay. Now the reason I've got that there is because, let's just unground you, is because if I bring that back, you can see there that this will have been anchored. Yeah, it spins round. Now what we can clearly see here is even this cut that I have, we could actually probably save some, not save, we could probably give some more space there. It's a big sectional cut out there, so we could probably bring it in a little bit, because you see the maximum extension sits just there, so we could probably bring it in. But the question is what is that width in itself? So let's have a quick check. I'll go this edge to this edge, and you see there on 3 millimeters. So one thing that can be quite common in CAD is people will look and kind of go, that's massive, but when you actually look, you kind of go, that's actually quite small, it's quite tiny. So let's not push this look, I would say. Let's just, you know, take it a little bit more straightforward. Now, the other thing that's quite interesting here is, look there. I don't know how well everyone can see this, but if I click on here, and you see that, in fact, I wonder if I can split that in half. That doesn't look right to me, that's my point. Let's go into a half sectional view, put onto there, and I'll just push it right up to there, like that. Let's click OK. There we go. See? Do you know what that means? That means that the original scoop that was sitting there in the design itself, again, even that needs cutting out. Let's get back again. So this section here is proving itself to not be what is needed. So in fact, this is now actually anchored over. So I think we're going to have to take some very smart approach here, or else we're going to end up very, very sticky in a difficult situation. So what I'll do is come across and I'll do a sketch. I'm gonna, in essence, I'm gonna cut out this lower section, and this detail aspect that we're going for now is just to make sure that when this is made, because let's not forget, boys and girls, this thing is being made. So we are going to build this, and when this thing is made, we want to make sure we're going to minimize the level of failures that are going to appear on this, because we're trying to, if you will, in a lack of better words, we're actually paying homage to the overall design. And there's an extra section I want to actually just talk about at the end of this video, which is some other things that were going on in the 60s, which I really do need to take into consideration, because I've given an awful lot of acknowledgement to the Hardiman program as well. Okay, so I'm going to place a sketch. The reason I'm doing this is I intend to print, and there's a large material being weighing on these thumbs. So what I'm going to do is perhaps use that, extrude that section, and I'm going to go right to here. That'll do it. That's right. Up to there, just to give it that sturdy section. So if we look now, yeah, my mouse stopped working. Then I was kind of like, but what's going on? Look now, we got that there. But I mean, we're going to have to pluck it out in just a second anyway to have a quick look to make sure it's correct. Again, let's share that profile. So I'll do an extrude. I'm doing it on that face again, but this time let's take it from the other side. So I'm going to do a profile from this face, and I'm going to flip that direction, go to the end face, and then click OK. So now what we've got is dual point to each side. It makes life mega easy. Now there's a few things that instantly is going to be causing problems. We need to make sure that bearings can fit, which I don't think this will be a problem, because I'm sure we fit some interference bearings there anyway, so I'm not too stressed with that. But let's just save that. It's going to ask, do you want to? Hell yeah, I do. I'm going to pop you back, and then yeah. So let's just let's hide that off for a second. Yes. Oh, fine. Let's just go back to delete section. There we go. Okay, so let's put it in. Okay, so we've got the full. It's got a full sectional element now that it can actually move around. Quickly pay homage to the actual design. Exactly the same. Okay. I think there is a large fillet across here that I've not added, which I think it needs adding, but let's just take that as we come. Okay. Okay, right. So we've got onto there, and we're now. What I think I'll just quickly do is bring in the new thumb, because this is what I called the new thumb. Which sounds daft to say, but it is. It's a new thumb. I bring it into here, and you see this square section here. Based on the actual original, we've got a rounded edge there. I'm just going to round that edge in. I want to round the edge in. The only thing that I don't like is just that if you actually look at the original design, that edge isn't rounded. It doesn't seem to look rounded. But I'm going to put it on there because I think fillets on there will actually do a better job. And if we just have a pop round, you can see there what I've done. This is a far more sophisticated structure now. Based on the image that we got here as well, we've got that countersink plate. What I'll quickly do is, because I've got to do it whilst I'm here, let's just get it on there, get it done. I'm going to place my sketch onto here, and then let's just pan it right up to the edge like that. It's probably not as accurate as I'd like that to be. And put you to there. Counter cut to direction. Let's go by 1mm, because I think it's only going to be little. It's a cover in essence. So I've got OK, OK, and then we have a countersink there. So let's just flip that on the other side. Again, let's use that technique. That technique that I love, and believe me, by the end of the time of us using this so much, you guys will love too. So profile section, I'm going to take it from here. I'm going to flip that area and then cut it out, and boom, we're done. That's it. And there we go. So we now got this countersink. We can pop that in, and that's then ready to be set. The countersink plate is that, but it's actually a plate that you're going to push in, which I'm not too fussed. So that's just fab. Okay, so let's get that back, and now let's close you out. Right, and finally, what I'd like to do. Oh yeah, there we go. So the bearings are in there. So now what I'd like to do is go back to the main hand. So we're going to give it a hand. Dear, it's that time. Okay, so I noticed this morning, and this may be me taking privilege. See here, we have an edge. This thing is being removable. It's plated in, and it's either that is edged. But the thing is I couldn't decide whether that was an edge or that was a crack. But it looks like it's an edge. So if I just pop out, is it come from that image? Let's have a look. What about the U? Is this one? So you look on that as well. It's there as well. So there is some type of a sectional cut there. I mean, this might be me just being hopeful, but I don't know. So the video, this is from the video itself. Look there, we have a line. This thing is in two pieces. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go back to our original major piece, which was the Hardiman single piece section, as this. Flip this over like that. Based on this, let's bring this back. It's midpoint to here, and then just under the knuckle. Okay, so it's midpoint to here, and then just under the knuckle. Okay, so I'm going to come to here. I'm going to do a sketch. Oh, excuse me. And then I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do a full rectangle like this. Okay. So I'm going to do a midpoint to the end of here. So let's just bring it on a dimension. I'm going to borrow some geometry. So let's do geometry. I just want a point. So I just want that point. Do a measurement from U to U. and I'm going to make that 5 millimeters. And based on I'm going to need to do the same thing here, so I'm going to make that point there to there, and to there. I'm going to make that 20 millimeters. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to do a split. This face, 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 and this face. You see there, it's actually the section I'm wanting to look at. So it's the whole thing going through it. What it should do when I click OK is give me piece section down. So let's just turn this on to aligned respective view. Let's go aligned. There you go. That's our sectional piece, and that piece right there is the piece I'm talking about, and I think that is cut out. Let's go into the main slave. Let's do an update. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's got an error, so let's go into where the error's coming from. Oh, there is no error, which is I like it when there's no error. We all like no errors, am I right? We all like no errors. Okay, let's go back into the main hand. So we've got a section piece here. So what I'm now going to do is start. I think I'll cut this section out from here. And we're going to use that as a window, as a way to decide where that piece sits. And we can ensure that between the two, we've always got a consistent design piece that's actually on there. So I'll come from my right plane and then go sketch and sketch. And the beauty is with this is I don't do anything sophisticated. I'm not going to be like, oh, let's do this, it's really sophisticated, yay. What I'm actually doing here is simply putting on a corner rectangle, ensuring that the piece stays well within outside of the actual unit itself. Click on extrude. I'm going to go extrude. I'm going to cut the whole thing out in one fell swoop. So I'm going to go all the way through all, both continuous directions, and then click OK. Okay, so now what we've actually got is that. Okay, so now what's it unhappy with? Oh my goodness, I've just realised. Okay, so right, so I'm having to take it all the way back because what it's actually done now is it's recognised that there's actually split faces, and it wants to, and it's not happy with all the split faces that have now been placed into position, which is a huge pain in the backside. If this continues, I'm going to have to take a bit more, I'm going to have to take a reverse process to be able to do this. So let's try and accept. Is that going to do it? Okay, no, it's not. So I'm just going to delete that. Now, there is an alternate way of being able to do this, and we will do that. It's going to have to be that way. So I'll delete that. I'll flip back to the original Hardiman. And then on my split here, I'm going to delete that with sketch, save on there. And then if I come back, it's going to say, do you want to update? I do want to update, and it should fix that problem. As it does, I'll come back here, make sure this is all updated. All fixed. So now, rather than using it as a final piece, I'm going to snap that out. Let's get rid of you completely. And we're now moving into this section. We're going to have to. It doesn't mean that there's a problem, it just means I'm just going to take an alternate approach to being able to do this. So let's bring on a sketch. I'm going to do the cutting from within the actual piece, which is not ideal to what I wanted to do, but it doesn't matter. I can still take the same mentality as what I did when providing with that all-in point split. There. And I'm going to put a point on there. Don't forget, these are actually to define what that's going to be. So given the distance across on here, I'm actually eyeballing this to 25, and initially we put a 5mm offset on here, so do 5, whoops, do 5, and that pushes you to there. And then what we'll do is extrude on there, so extrude, and we'll do a cut, and then what we're going to do is go all the way through all. And now we have an internal piece. Now this is, I am sure damn it, the reason this is there is because you can interface with it. You can get in across it, and what I'm considering is putting some type of gasket interface when you're actually putting these into place. Because the other thing to take in mind is there is a mount hole here. So it makes me wonder, is there some type of wedge or something for it to sit into? But we'll find out. Like a wedge down, so it kind of slides in across, and then there's a damper above as such for you to interface across there. So what I'm going to do is just get to the other side, get the other side cut out, and then we're cooking with gas. So I'll just click save. Now it realizes that there's been big changes made. Do I want to change things? I do. So let's just turn to there. I'm going to have to make so I'm going to make the if you will, end of the claw. The claw. So I'm going to go create. We're going to make a new piece. So let's derive tool. Swear to God, how did I ever get by without you? We need the main. I might as well derive from the hand. No, let's not. If I derive from the hand, it's going to prove to be problematic. So let's not. Let's drop all surfaces. Just solid pieces. I just want that one. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. Let's click OK. And there we go. It's a solid piece on here. All this back I'm going to cut off anyway, so I'm not too fussed. It's this front section I'm after. So let's go sketch. I'm going to come across, cut this right down, and then go to there. I'm going to go dimension, come across this piece. Today's video is going to be a little bit longer just because at the end of this video I actually now want to get into a position where we're going to start looking to prototype and start building. So 5. Just flip back. I don't remember what our overall sketch was. It's 5 by 25. So I'm going to go here, come across, and go to you, and go 25. And now, I mean, you're probably thinking, yeah, but we've not completed the whole piece. That's right, we've not. But what I'm doing is doing an internal border. So I get that piece where that's going to be, but I'm actually going to use this section here as my cutter. So then I'll do cut through all, and then OK. And now what we've got is here. Now the only thing that's different is because I've come from the original, I need to shell it. So I don't know if this will work, but let's give it a go. Can't do any harm, can it? Let's do 3mm shelling. And so really I am actually removing that face and removing that face. Okay, look at that. On this one it actually did it. Yeah, there you go, it actually did do it. Okay, so we've got this piece on here. Now, based on what we know about how they did this piece, I'm going to do the same method of approach with our front claw. So I'm just going to quickly save this actually. So I'm going to save as, I'll call this front claw, and then click save. And based on this actual piece, I'm just going to come onto here and let's think about this first. Okay, I've got an idea. Right, so I'm going to cut into here and sketch, and I'm going to cut this right back. So I'm going to go from here. Come on, you swine, where are you? There you are. Right, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that as a cut. I'm going to go through all the alternate, and one there, like that. And we'll use the same piece again on this sketch. Use that as a share. This tool, by the way, insane tool, such a good tool. So we'll come across from this face, flip that round, get a removal, and then go OK. Okay, so what I'd like to do at this point now is use the same sketch again. I'm going to fill this bad boy in, right the way in. So let's just use this as an overall piece. I'm going to go to that face and use that as a secure on there. Same again, I'm going to go extrude, and I'm going from what face? I'm going from this face. I'm going to flip it round and then take it to this face here, and then go OK. So now we've got a nice smooth piece to operate with, and we've still got that face actually acting overall. Now I'm going to presume that the plate that I actually used on this uses a countersunk plate. So in that process, I'm going to presume that this to be the same size. I know you're probably thinking, presumption is the mother of all, and it really can be, but in this case, screw you, I'm going to actually make this work. I jest, of course. So I'm going to come back across and then click on there, and then I'm going to do a remove, and I'm going to flip it around and then click on there. So we've now got that, and what I firmly think is that we'll have perhaps, I don't know, let's go 4. I mean, given the size of these, given the size of it, and let's just come back to the Morsha image. You look there, it's tiny there, and they're quite big. So let's go M8. I mean, M8s are chunky, so let's have a quick look at the overall size on here. So I'll get on here, let's do a sketch. I'll put 4 on here as an overall piece, and let's do an M8. Let's just set that to a good 8mm, 8mm. And what I need this to do is to sit in the ideal perspective position of where that is. So I'll take me to there, and then I'm going to ensure that this and this are happy, and then I'm going to set a distance from there to there of let's go 7. Let's bring that down. I mean, that looks freaking huge, doesn't it? There we go. That's a 6mm across. Right, and let's do a circular pattern. Geometry I want to use, and then let's use this as an overall perspective. Swine. Okay, so let me just come into here, put a center point, and let's do a construction of you onto there like that. And then let's try that again. Circular pattern, and you, by you, and and by you. And we're going to put 4 on there. I think 4 is a good shout. And then what I'll perhaps do, because both sides have been cut, I'm just going to go all the way through, because I mean this is just a whole section to actually get it to interface. So I'm going to do this as a cut, and I'll do you, and you as a cut, and let's just do an extrusion all the way through all. Let's go through all. And really this would be counted to some degree, so I'm going to chamfer this. Probably not as aggressive as that. I've got 1. This is my counter onto there. And then what this will allow me to do is to simply put this onto here. I mean, really, would it though? It probably wouldn't, saying that, just because we have a faceplate that's going to go over the top, and clearly on that faceplate this actually had them connections on it. It makes me wonder though if there was a pin that goes through there, but that's going to have to be that's just going to have to be theorized, just because there is no real hard evidence to show how that was put together. Okay, just going to pop back onto the original, click save, and then let's do yes. I know it's kind of like, what have you done? You've broken it. Yeah, not kidding. So let's just place. Where are we now? And claw to here. Given this, now when you bring these in, if you do just use Inventor's functions to your advantage, promise you it's well worth it. So all I'm doing here is just flipping around X, which I've just realized perhaps I shouldn't, because it's not what I wanted to do. So I'll flip it over again, and really what I want to do is rotate around Y, and then I want to rotate around Z, and there we go. And it just makes life a little easier when getting everything in position, you know. So it's just something to keep in mind. And there we go. So click apply on there, and if I just pop this out here, you can see there how it's actually been wedged. So what I want to do now is just do a final piece on this face and snap it to this face too, and then go that face and snap it to that face, and there we go. We've now got our Hardiman end piece into position, almost locked, looking correct. What I'm guessing is what we're actually getting here, looking at that, is this is probably an internal wedge. So let me just close the claw, save that. Am I on the hand here? I am on the hand. Okay. Okay, let me just think. So I'm guessing then, if this might be easier to do it inside. You may not have done this, so I'm going to close that out completely. And then if I go on this hand, right click, I can go open or edit. If I go edit, I'm actually now in the claw, in the assembly. I mean, in the hand, in the assembly. It is very, very useful. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to go on sketch. And I can do anything I want here, really. I'll come from this point, come across to here, and then bring it down to something like here. There, and then up to there. So that's still inside, but given that this would be printed, I'm going to offset this just by, I'm going to go 0.5 of a mil. No, I'm not. I'm going to go 1 mil. And then what I will do with this is I'm just going to pop that out there, and I'm also going to pop that out there. And I'm going to use extend. This will extend to the edge on both sides, and now I can use that internal wedge section. So let's give that a go. Really though, to make this work, it needs to have a reason to be connected, so I'm just going to give it some material to grip onto the internal of the actual arm, like that, into there. So we've now got an, if you will, a reason for it to be gripping. Let's do an extrude, you and you, and this amount. I'm going to go something just gentle, go 5 mil. I think looking at that overall piece there, if you look, I think that's going to have a fillet just to bring that in. There's no reason for it to be so aggressive on that edge. So bring that into 10 millimeters. And just ensure that I stay within the mounting plate, which evidently I am. And then I'm going to do our favorite tool. I'm going to come across here, turn that on as a visible piece of use. So you, and rather than making that a division, I will make that a protrusion of cut over from you. And yeah, just sharing the same type of approach really, and bring that in. And because I like the fillets, because the fillet for me works, I'm going to pop that down, right click on here, go edit feature, and I'm going to pass it over to there. And now it's just kind of sharing these approaches, just because you do see a lot of people who reproduce sketches and things. You go, don't reproduce a sketch, don't make your life hard. There is no need to do that. So with this now, I'm going to simply look to drill some holes. So let's get a sketch on here. I mean, really, should I have done it in the other? You know what? No, I'm going to do it in the other. I'm going to do it in the other. I think we should do it in this original sketch. Edit sketch. So I might be able to share from that sketch, that sketch, that sketch, that sketch. Right. So what I need to do is now pull all these off. Just because if I make a move and this is connected, it's going to be painful. It's just not going to work. So what I'll do is do it on there, and in fact maybe I share from this piece of geometry here, and again I'm just going to make a move on there, and there, and there. Okay, I mean that'll do, to be honest. This one I'm going to turn back to construction, and then let's go. Okay, it's going to error. It didn't error. It's always nice when stuff works, you know. So all I need to do now here is just say I don't want these or these or these or these to be considered, and then go OK. And then if I return on that, whoops, is it on both sides? Has it done it on both sides? No, has it? So I don't think I did it, did it? Edit feature. Yeah, 2 profiles. So something captured. Oh no. I'm going to here. Edit feature. I don't want that, or that. Okay. And then okay, that should do it. Or am I missing something? I'm probably missing something on me. Oh no, that's done it. Right, so there we go. We've now got that section piece open. Right everyone, that is the end of this next session. I've actually got this now to a position. What I'll be doing, just a little bit of an extra, is I'm going to make myself a little end plate to go on there. And that end plate will look exactly like that, as you'd imagine. And then, yeah, we're at a nice position of where it's about time to start making stuff. Let's see what happens. I can now make the thumb. I can make the end piece of the thumb and start looking at the bearings. I can now start bringing all these key plates together and starting to build there. And yeah, we will have the world's first. I suppose you call it fan made. I suppose you call it just I suppose you just call it reconstructed or rebuilt. In this approach though, there has been some changes. We've had to make some changes. We've had to make some intelligent approach towards what we're doing and how we're doing it. This is far from finished. This project is still ongoing. As we're moving forwards, this will now start to become more of a project update. And this will start to become more of a project update of where things are up to. If you are one of my students working on this project, be aware of that. I'll be asking you if you're interested to be recorded or not, just because this is quite exciting. And to get so close to the point of unveiling this little bad boy is going to be fab. I am going to make some little miniatures. I'm going to make some little custom miniatures of this as well. So if you are interested, do reach out. Just because little miniatures of this, and I have some ideas to turn this into something the desktop feature as well.